The way you understand others shapes every relationship you have. When you miss the signs people give, you miss chances to connect and grow. Social intelligence means paying close attention to how people feel and what they really want to say. It helps you respond in ways that build trust and respect. Today, we will discuss how to master the skill of reading people's emotions and reacting with care and confidence. You will learn how to notice small clues in body language and tone that reveal true feelings. This is about becoming aware of yourself and others so you can handle any conversation with ease. If you're ready to improve your social skills and become a master at reading and responding to people, then let's dive in. Number 1. Observe body language to understand unspoken emotions fast. Most people walk through life completely unaware of the energy in the room, unaware of the silent messages people are sending every moment. They miss cues. They misunderstand intentions, and because of that, they find themselves confused, disconnected, and often feeling left out or misjudged. They'll say, "I don't know what went wrong," or "I thought everything was fine," but things weren't fine. They just weren't paying attention. You see, people speak even when their mouths are closed, and if you're not picking up on that, you're not truly listening. That's why social intelligence begins long before you speak. It starts with learning to observe, really observe what people's bodies are telling you. Think about this. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something was off? Nobody said a word, but the tension was heavy. The way someone glanced down, crossed their arms, shifted their weight, or avoided eye contact, it all meant something. That discomfort you felt wasn't imaginary. It was your instincts picking up signals your conscious mind hadn't fully processed yet. The body speaks, and it never lies. Words can be manipulated, but the body is raw truth. Now, this isn't about staring people down or trying to read every twitch like it's a mystery novel. It's about being present. When someone is speaking to you, don't just listen to the words, watch how they sit. Look at their hands. Are their feet pointed toward the door? That might mean they want out of the conversation. Are their arms crossed while you're opening up to them? They could be guarding themselves. Are they leaning in? Maybe they're genuinely interested. Every small gesture carries a message, and those messages stack up. Here's what people get wrong. They think body language is about memorizing signs like a checklist. That's not it. It's about patterns. It's about context. You don't need to become a human lie detector. You just need to pay more attention than most people do. Social intelligence is about awareness, not judgment. Awareness. Most folks are too wrapped up in their own thoughts to notice what's right in front of them. They're rehearsing what they want to say next, checking their phones, or wondering if they sounded smart in the last sentence. All the while, the other person's body is screaming something they're too distracted to hear. If you want to master human interaction, you've got to train yourself to step out of your head and into the moment. When someone is nervous, it shows. They'll fidget, touch their face, bounce their leg. If they're uncomfortable, they might turn their bodies slightly away, tighten their shoulders, or keep their hands hidden. If someone is confident, their posture reflects it: open chest, steady movements, relaxed arms. And here's the key. Don't just notice these things. Let them guide your response. If you see tension, maybe it's time to slow down. If someone seems closed off, maybe ask a softer question. If they lean in and make eye contact, that's your cue to keep going. This kind of observation creates connection. It shows that you see people, not just hear them, but really see them. And that makes people feel safe. When people feel seen, they open up. They trust. They engage. And now, the quality of your conversation shifts. You're not just talking anymore. You're connecting. This skill can't be built overnight. You've got to practice. Start with the people you see every day. Watch them, not to analyze, but to understand. Watch how their expressions change when they're excited. Notice what their body does when they're uncomfortable. Do they touch their neck? Do they avoid looking you in the eye? What happens when you ask a sensitive question? This is how you train your awareness. And don't ignore your own body. People are reading you too. If you're slouched over, they assume you're not confident. If you keep checking the time, they think you're in a rush. If you avoid eye contact, they feel you're not being honest. Your body is part of the conversation, even when you're silent. So carry yourself with intention. Show people you're present, that you care, and that you're grounded. There's power in being the person who notices what others overlook. In a world full of noise, the ability to understand silent signals is a rare advantage. It makes you the kind of person others feel good around, even if they can't explain why. It builds trust. It creates rapport, and over time it turns you into a person of influence, not because you talk a lot, but because you notice more than most. We live in a fast world. People are busy, attention is thin. But there's something magnetic about someone who gives full presence. Someone who listens with their eyes, not just their ears. When you give that kind of presence, it's felt, it's respected, and it's remembered. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You just need to be tuned in. When you can walk into a room and read what's not being said, you make better decisions. You respond more wisely. You avoid stepping on emotional landmines. You pick up on what people need, what they fear, and what they're hiding. That makes you valuable not just socially, but in business, in leadership, in life. Social intelligence is one of the greatest tools you can carry with you. It's not about being clever. It's about being human. The more you observe, the more you understand. And the more you understand, the more you can lead with compassion, with clarity, and with strength. Start noticing today. When someone walks into a room, don't just glance at them, watch them. When they sit down, notice how they do it. Are they relaxed? Are they tense? When they speak, does their face match their words? You'll be surprised how much people are telling you without ever saying a word. Don't wait for people to spell things out. Start reading the language they already speak, the language of posture, movement, and stillness. That's where their real story lives. That's where social intelligence begins. Not in words, but in awareness. Number 2. Listen more than you speak in every conversation. Most people think they're good listeners. But the truth is, they're just waiting for their turn to talk. Think about how many conversations you've had where you walked away feeling unheard, misunderstood, or dismissed. Now ask yourself, how often have you made someone else feel that same way without even realizing it? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about becoming aware of the blind spots that keep us disconnected from others. Real listening, deep, focused listening is one of the rarest skills today. And yet, it's one of the most powerful tools you can master if you want to understand people and earn their trust. When you're truly listening to someone, you're not thinking about what you're going to say next. You're not planning your response. You're not mentally checking out while they talk. You're fully present. You're in it with them. You're watching their face, hearing their words, catching the small changes in their tone. You're not interrupting. You're not finishing their sentences. You're just listening. People don't open up when they feel judged or rushed. They open up when they feel understood. And understanding doesn't come from clever words. It comes from focused attention. One of the reasons people fail at relationships, personal, professional, or otherwise, is because they talk too much and listen too little. They want to impress. They want to share their opinion. They want to be right. And in doing all that, they forget to make the other person feel heard. You see, when you talk too much, you push people away. But when you listen, you invite them in. That's how trust begins. That's how connection grows. And when someone feels heard by you, they associate your presence with safety. That changes everything. Most people think being a good communicator means knowing what to say. But often it's knowing when not to speak that makes the biggest difference. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is look someone in the eye, stay quiet, and really let them speak. Without interruption, without advice, without the need to jump in. In every conversation, ask yourself this: am I listening to understand, or am I just waiting to reply? That one question can transform how you interact with people forever. And the more you train yourself to be present, the more you'll begin to hear what people are really saying, not just in their words, but in the pauses between them, in the hesitations, in the places they soften or harden their voice. All of that is information, but you'll only catch it if you're quiet enough to notice. People often open up in layers. The first thing they say isn't always the real issue. It's just the surface. If you interrupt them too early, you miss the real message. But if you stay patient, keep your energy grounded, and listen without judgment, they'll go deeper. They'll start to reveal more. And that's where the truth lives. That's where the emotion is. That's where the real connection begins. There's a kind of power that comes from restraint. When you give someone space to talk, you're giving them a gift. You're saying, "You matter. I'm here with you." And most people never hear that from anyone. That's why when someone truly listens to you, you remember it. It stands out. It leaves an impression. Be that person for others. Now, listening more than you speak doesn't mean you become passive. It means you become intentional. You're choosing to observe, to absorb, and to reflect before you react. That makes your words more thoughtful. It makes your presence more grounded. It gives your voice more weight when you do choose to speak. There's a reason the most respected leaders are often the quietest in the room. They're gathering information. They're tuning in. They're measuring the mood. They're letting others reveal themselves. Then, when they speak, people listen because their words are shaped by understanding, not ego. This applies in every area of life. In business, the person who listens well understands clients better, leads teams more effectively, and negotiates more strategically. In relationships, the partner who listens builds deeper intimacy, trust, and loyalty. In friendships, the one who listens is the one others turn to when life gets heavy. And in everyday life, being a good listener simply makes you someone people enjoy being around. But make no mistake, it takes discipline. It takes humility. You've got to fight the urge to interrupt. You've got to resist the temptation to fix everything with advice. You've got to let go of the need to be the smartest person in the room. Because listening isn't about being right. It's about being real. You can start practicing today. The next time someone speaks to you, don't rush them. Don't try to fill every silence. Just be with them. If they pause, let the pause breathe. If they struggle to find the words, don't jump in. Let them find it in their own time. And when you do respond, reflect back what they said. Let them know you actually heard them. Not just the facts, but the feelings behind the words. That's what real listening does. It picks up on the emotional layer, not just the logical one. There's something deeply human about being heard. It calms people. It grounds them. It gives them clarity. And sometimes, just being there and really listening is more healing than any advice you could ever give. People remember how you made them feel. And if you make them feel seen and heard, they'll remember you forever. You don't need a degree to become someone who listens well. You don't need a special talent. You just need to care enough to be present. Every time you choose to listen instead of speak, you're developing your social intelligence. You're building connection. You're setting yourself apart in a world full of noise. The truth is, most people talk too much because they're afraid of silence. But silence isn't the enemy. Silence is where real understanding grows. And when you embrace that, you stop rushing conversations. You stop trying to control them. And you start experiencing people on a deeper level. Be the person who listens, really listens. Not just because it makes others feel good, but because it sharpens you. It gives you insight. It helps you understand motivations, fears, and desires. And when you understand people, you can lead them, help them, and inspire them more effectively. Don't underestimate the impact of simply being quiet, being present, and being open. In a world that's always talking, being the one who listens is a rare and powerful choice. Make that choice daily. And watch how people begin to open up, connect, and respond to you in ways they never did before. Number 3. Match people's energy to build instant connection. It's a reality that many people feel awkward or disconnected when they talk to someone new. They try too hard to impress or end up coming across cold and distant. That disconnect often happens because they're out of sync with the other person's energy. Every person carries a certain rhythm, the way they move, talk, breathe, and express themselves. When you fail to notice or adjust to that rhythm, communication stalls. People feel misunderstood, tense, or just plain uncomfortable. Building connection instantly isn't about dazzling with words. It's about tuning in and matching the energy someone brings into the conversation. Imagine walking into a room full of people you don't know. You want to make a good impression, but you're nervous. You're excited, but you're also cautious. Now, look around and notice the energy in the room. Some people are relaxed and calm. Others are lively and animated. If you approach someone with your energy way off theirs, say, your high energy, and their low energy, you'll feel out of sync. The conversation becomes awkward, forced, or one-sided. That's why learning to match energy is so important. It bridges the gap between strangers and turns strangers into friends quickly. Matching energy doesn't mean you become a copycat or lose your authenticity. It means you become adaptable. You adjust your pace, tone, and body language to align with the person you're with. When you do that, you send a powerful message without saying a word. I see you. I'm with you. And when people feel seen and understood on that basic level, barriers fall down. Walls come down. You become approachable and relatable. When you enter a conversation, first take a moment to feel the other person's energy. Are they speaking quickly or slowly? Are their movements sharp or gentle? Is their mood light or serious? Matching these elements creates a kind of invisible thread between you. For example, if someone is calm and measured, responding with the same calmness shows respect and attentiveness. If they're energetic and enthusiastic, sharing that enthusiasm lets them know you're engaged and excited too. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about honoring the other person's state of being. Many people underestimate how much energy affects connection. Words alone don't build rapport. The way you say something, how fast or slow you speak, the tone of your voice, and even your posture have a tremendous impact. When your energy clashes with theirs, the conversation can feel like a mismatch or a battle. But when your energy is in harmony, it feels like a dance, effortless, smooth, and natural. Matching energy also applies beyond one-on-one conversations. In groups, it's the difference between being an outsider or being part of the team. If the group is lively and upbeat, showing up with low energy makes you stand out, but not in a good way. If the group is serious and focused, being too casual or loud might put people off. Reading the room's energy and adjusting yourself accordingly helps you blend in and gain acceptance quickly. You might be thinking, what if someone's energy is negative or overwhelming? Should I match that too? The answer is yes, but with care. Matching energy doesn't mean absorbing someone's stress or anger. Instead, it means reflecting their intensity without adding fuel to the fire. If someone is upset, you might match their slower pace and lower volume to calm the situation rather than matching their shouting or rapid speech. Think of it like a mirror. It shows what's there but doesn't create extra waves. This skill takes practice and self-awareness. It requires you to step outside yourself and become curious about others. It demands observation and flexibility. The more you practice matching energy, the more natural it becomes. It turns into an automatic way of connecting without you having to think about it too much. This ability also builds your emotional intelligence because you become more sensitive to the feelings behind the energy. You start to sense when someone is tired, excited, frustrated, or joyful before they even say a word. And when you respond appropriately, you create a safe space for genuine interaction. Think about the last time you connected instantly with someone. Chances are you were in sync, your energy matched theirs, and the conversation flowed effortlessly. That feeling is magnetic. People crave it, and it's within your power to give it. Matching energy does more than improve social interactions. It builds influence. When people feel your energy aligns with theirs, they trust you. They feel you understand them on a deeper level. Trust opens doors. It creates opportunities. It makes you memorable. In practical terms, matching energy means paying attention to small details. Notice the volume of their voice. Are they whispering, speaking softly, or projecting loudly? Mirror that volume. Notice their body language. Is it open and relaxed or tight and closed? Adjust your posture to be complementary, not identical, so it feels natural. Notice their facial expressions and match the mood, whether it's serious or light-hearted. It's easy to get caught up in what you want to say next or how you want to be perceived. But shifting your focus to the other person's energy changes the game. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about impressing anymore, it's about connecting. Authenticity remains essential. Matching energy isn't pretending or losing yourself. It's about respect and empathy. It's saying without words, I'm here with you, on your wavelength, and that creates an immediate bond. This skill benefits every relationship, personal, professional, or casual. Whether you're meeting a client, a colleague, a friend, or a stranger, matching energy helps you make a positive impression and build trust quickly. You can start practicing this today. When you meet someone new, take a moment to feel their energy. Adjust your speed, tone, and body language accordingly. Don't rush to fill silences or push your agenda. Let the energy guide you. Over time, this approach will shift how people respond to you. They'll feel more comfortable, more open, and more willing to engage. You won't just be another voice in the room, you'll be someone who understands and connects deeply. Matching energy is the silent language of connection. Master it, and you unlock the door to meaningful relationships, influence, and social success. The way you show up matters. Your energy speaks louder than your words. Align it with others, and you become a force for connection in any room. Number 4. Ask thoughtful questions that show real interest. There's a harsh truth many people face when trying to connect with others. They ask questions, but their questions don't really invite answers. Instead, conversations stay shallow and surface level. People can sense when questions are just fillers or attempts to steer the talk back to yourself. When that happens, the connection fades quickly. The skill of asking thoughtful questions is a game changer because it shows you're genuinely interested, not just making small talk or killing time. It opens the door for people to share more, to reveal who they really are. And that's where true connection begins. Think about how it feels when someone asks you a question that actually matters. Maybe it's about your dreams, your challenges, or your opinions. You feel valued, seen, and respected. Thoughtful questions have the power to make people lower their guard and open their hearts. That kind of genuine curiosity creates space for honesty and depth. When you ask questions that come from a place of true interest, you're not just gathering information, you're building trust. Many miss this opportunity because they fall into the trap of asking predictable or shallow questions. How are you? What do you do? Where are you from? These can be useful starters, but if that's all you ask, you'll keep conversations surface level. Thoughtful questions dig deeper. They invite reflection and sharing. They spark emotions and stories. And stories are the bridge to connection. A powerful question often begins with what or how. These questions encourage people to explain, explore, and express rather than just answer yes or no. For example, instead of asking, "Did you like the event?" you might ask, "What stood out to you most about the event?" That invites the other person to think, remember, and share something personal. It signals that you're interested in their unique perspective, not just a quick answer. It's easy to fall into the habit of asking questions out of obligation or habit. But real curiosity is different. It's active. It's focused on the person in front of you. It's about listening to their answer and then asking follow-up questions that show you heard and care. This kind of questioning shifts the energy from mechanical to meaningful. The best questions come from paying close attention. When you listen carefully to what someone says, you find clues for deeper questions. If someone mentions a hobby, you can ask, "What do you enjoy most about that?" If they talk about a challenge, ask, "How did that experience change your perspective?" This shows you're engaged and invested in their story. It moves the conversation from small talk to real talk. Thoughtful questions also help people discover new insights about themselves. When someone reflects on a question that invites depth, they start thinking in ways they might not have before. You become a catalyst for growth, not just a casual listener. That's a powerful position to be in. It's important to balance the pace of questioning. Too many questions in a row can feel like an interrogation. Too few can stall the conversation. Space your questions naturally, letting the conversation breathe. Watch for moments when silence or hesitation suggests someone is thinking. That's a chance to ask a gentle question that encourages them to share more without pressure. Remember, the goal isn't to collect information like a reporter. It's to create connection through genuine interest. When your questions come from that place, the other person feels respected and valued. They feel safe to be authentic, and authenticity is the foundation of meaningful relationships. Asking thoughtful questions also gives you insight into what matters most to someone, their values, passions, struggles, and dreams. That knowledge allows you to respond with empathy and understanding. You begin to see the world through their eyes. That's social intelligence in action. It's natural to feel nervous about asking deep questions, especially with new acquaintances. But vulnerability is part of the process. When you show interest, you invite others to do the same. It's a subtle but powerful form of courage that pays off in richer connections. Avoid questions that sound judgmental or overly personal too soon. Respect boundaries by paying attention to cues. If someone hesitates or changes the subject, dial back. Thoughtful questioning respects pace and comfort levels. Sometimes the best question you can ask is one that helps someone talk about themselves in a positive way. People love to share stories of success, passion, or moments they're proud of. Asking, "What accomplishment are you most proud of?" or "What excites you right now?" brings energy and light into the conversation. It's also crucial to stay present while asking questions. Don't think ahead to what you'll say next or how you'll steer the talk. Let the person's answer guide you naturally to the next question. This flow creates a conversation that feels alive and organic. In the digital age, many conversations happen online or through text. Thoughtful questions are just as important here. They cut through the noise and show real attention, even when you're not face to face. They make people stop scrolling and truly engage. Practicing thoughtful questioning requires patience. It takes practice to slow down, listen deeply, and respond authentically. But every conversation you have with genuine curiosity sharpens your skill. Over time, you'll notice people opening up to you more easily. They'll seek your company because you make them feel understood. This skill is a powerful tool for leadership, friendship, romance, and networking. Leaders who ask thoughtful questions inspire teams to think creatively and share ideas. Friends who ask meaningful questions deepen trust and loyalty. Partners who ask with genuine curiosity strengthen their bond and understanding. When you start asking thoughtful questions, you change the energy of your conversations. They become more than just exchanges of words. They become moments of connection, learning, and growth. You become someone who invites others to bring their full selves, not just surface stories. People remember how you made them feel long after the words are gone. Asking questions that show you care leaves a lasting impression. It tells them you value who they are, not just what they say. And that's the heart of social intelligence mastery, the art of reading and responding to people in a way that lifts them up and draws them closer. Use this skill with integrity and respect. Don't ask questions just to manipulate or control. Ask because you want to understand and build real connections. When your curiosity is genuine, it shines through every question you ask. Start now by preparing a few thoughtful questions you can use in your next conversation. Practice listening deeply to the answers. Notice how the other person responds when you show real interest. That awareness will fuel your growth and make you more confident. Every meaningful relationship begins with a question that sparks curiosity and invites someone to share their true self. Mastering this art gives you a key to unlock the doors of connection that most people never even notice are closed. You don't have to be a smooth talker or a natural extrovert to excel here. You just need to care enough to ask the right questions and listen to the answers with an open heart. Number 5. Notice tone and pace to read hidden intent. Most people spend their entire lives focused on what's being said, not how it's being said. It's a mistake that costs them countless chances to truly understand others and build meaningful relationships. The tone of someone's voice and the pace at which they speak reveal more than words ever could. Ignoring these cues is like trying to read a book with half the pages missing. You're left guessing, misinterpreting, or missing the real message altogether. The truth is, people don't always say what they mean, but their voice rarely lies. If you want to master social intelligence, learning to listen not just to words, but to the way those words are delivered is non-negotiable. Consider how often people say one thing, but their tone says another. A sarcastic "thanks a lot" doesn't mean gratitude. A rushed reply might hide anxiety or impatience. A slow, careful response can show hesitation or thoughtfulness. The way a sentence is spoken adds a whole layer of meaning, emotion, and intent that words alone don't carry. If you miss that, you lose the chance to respond in a way that truly fits the moment. Tone is the emotional color behind words. It carries feelings like anger, sadness, excitement, boredom, or frustration. If someone's voice is flat or monotone, they might be disengaged or tired. If it's sharp and clipped, they could be annoyed or defensive. If it's warm and inviting, they probably want to connect. Listening closely to tone is like tuning in to the other person's emotional frequency. It tells you how they feel beneath the surface. Pace, or how fast someone talks, is another powerful clue. Speaking quickly can mean nervousness, excitement, or urgency. Speaking slowly might indicate careful thinking, sadness, or even exhaustion. Pauses and breaks between words matter too. A pause before answering could signal hesitation or discomfort. A sudden rush of words might reveal that someone is overwhelmed or trying to cover up uncertainty. When you notice these details, you gain insight into their true state of mind. People often try to mask their emotions through words to protect themselves. They might not want to reveal frustration or disappointment directly, but their voice can betray those feelings. Spotting these signs requires focused attention. It means quieting your own mind enough to pick up subtle shifts in tone and rhythm. This skill is essential in all areas of life, whether in business negotiations, friendships, or family conversations. When you can read tone and pace accurately, you don't just hear what people say, you understand what they mean. That understanding lets you respond with empathy and wisdom instead of confusion or frustration. For example, if a colleague answers your question with a quick, sharp tone, it might mean they're stressed or annoyed, even if they say they're fine. Recognizing that lets you adjust your approach, maybe give them space or offer help, rather than pushing harder and making things worse. On the other hand, if someone speaks slowly and softly when sharing news, you can sense the weight of the information before they even finish. You become better prepared to listen and support them. Learning to notice tone and pace also helps in detecting deception or discomfort. When words and tone don't match, it raises a red flag. Someone might say they agree, but a tense voice or hurried speech can suggest otherwise. When you're aware of these mismatches, you can gently explore or clarify rather than accepting everything at face value. Many people rush conversations because they focus only on the content. But slowing down to hear how words are said opens a whole new dimension. You learn to catch unspoken feelings and motivations. You become a more thoughtful, responsive communicator. This skill sharpens with practice. It means training your ears to pick up variations in pitch, volume, and speed. It means noticing patterns, how someone talks when they're happy versus upset. When you develop this sensitivity, you start to sense emotional undercurrents instantly, even before words land. Another layer to consider is cultural differences. Tone and pace vary across cultures. What sounds fast to one person might be normal to another. Understanding context matters. But no matter the culture, the principle remains the same. Voice carries feelings beyond words. Imagine a conversation where someone speaks softly and slowly, sharing something difficult. If you respond with impatience or interrupt, you miss the moment to show care. If you tune in, matching your pace and tone to theirs, you create a safe space. They feel heard and respected. That changes the dynamic completely. Your own tone and pace matter too. When you speak calmly and clearly, people are more likely to listen and trust you. If you rush or sound angry, even the best message can be lost. Being aware of your voice helps you influence conversations positively and maintain control over emotional dynamics. In moments of conflict or tension, tone and pace become even more critical. A steady, calm voice can diffuse anger and prevent escalation. Speaking too fast or loudly often adds fuel to the fire. Choosing your tone with intention is a powerful tool to keep conversations constructive. This isn't about manipulating others. It's about respect and understanding. When you tune into tone and pace, you honor the full message someone is sending. You acknowledge their feelings and create room for honest dialogue. The ability to read hidden intent through tone and pace elevates your social intelligence to a whole new level. It allows you to navigate conversations with greater skill, avoid misunderstandings, and connect on a deeper level. People notice when you get it, they feel seen and appreciated. Start by paying attention during everyday talks. Listen not just for words, but for how those words come out. Notice the rise and fall of voices, the speed of speech, and the emotional weight behind it. Practice slowing your own speech to be clear and calm. As you become more attuned to these cues, you'll find your relationships improving naturally. Misunderstandings will decrease. Conversations will flow more smoothly. You'll respond with insight instead of reaction. Tone and pace reveal the truth beneath words. Master this skill, and you unlock a powerful form of social intelligence that few people develop. It gives you the edge in any interaction, whether it's a business meeting, a heartfelt talk, or a casual chat. Your voice is a powerful tool. So is the voice of those around you. Listening carefully to both creates a connection that goes far beyond words alone. It builds understanding, trust, and respect, the foundation of all meaningful relationships. Number 6. Practice empathy by putting yourself in their shoes. It's a hard truth that many people struggle to truly understand others. They hear words but don't feel the emotions behind them. The moment you fail to see the world through someone else's eyes, you miss a critical piece of connection. Empathy isn't just a nice idea, it's the foundation of real communication and deep relationships. Without empathy, conversations can feel cold, misunderstandings multiply, and walls build between people. When you commit to practicing empathy by genuinely putting yourself in another person's shoes, you open a door to connection that most never even try to enter. The challenge is, empathy demands more than sympathy or pity. Sympathy says, "I feel sorry for you." Empathy says, "I understand how you feel because I imagine what it's like to be you." That subtle difference makes all the difference in how people respond to you. It moves you from a passive observer to an active participant in someone's experience. Every day, people carry unseen burdens, worries, fears, hopes, frustrations that shape how they show up in the world. When you practice empathy, you acknowledge that everyone is fighting a battle you don't see. Maybe a co-worker's short temper isn't about you, but about pressure at home. Maybe a friend's silence isn't disinterest, but pain they're hiding. If you assume you understand their situation only by what they say, you risk missing the truth. Putting yourself in their shoes means taking the time to imagine how they see things. It means pausing your own perspective and stepping into their experience. How would you feel if you faced what they face? What fears or hopes might drive their actions? This exercise doesn't require you to agree with everything they say or do. It means you try to understand their feelings and motivations honestly. When empathy is present, communication shifts. Instead of reacting defensively, you respond with patience and kindness. Instead of judging, you listen openly. That creates an atmosphere where people feel safe to be vulnerable. Vulnerability builds trust. Trust deepens relationships. Empathy isn't always easy. It demands effort and humility. It asks you to put aside your ego and biases to truly see someone else. It's uncomfortable to imagine another person's pain or struggle, but that discomfort is necessary growth. Every time you choose empathy over judgment, you strengthen your social intelligence and your capacity for connection. One of the most powerful aspects of empathy is its ripple effect. When someone feels understood, they are more likely to open up and understand others in turn. It's a cycle that builds stronger bonds and better communities. Empathy turns strangers into allies and disagreements into opportunities for learning. Practicing empathy also improves your own emotional intelligence. You become more aware of your feelings and better at managing your reactions. Understanding others' perspectives helps you anticipate how your words and actions will affect them. You stop assuming everyone thinks or feels like you do. That awareness alone changes how you communicate. You don't need to be in the same situation to be empathetic. Sometimes all it takes is honest curiosity and respect. Asking questions like, "How did that feel for you?" or "What was going through your mind then?" invites people to share more and feel heard. Listening without interrupting or planning your reply shows that you care about their experience, not just your response. Empathy also means acknowledging the limits of what you know. Sometimes people's experiences are very different from yours. You won't fully understand every detail, but you can still honor their feelings by being present and attentive. Being willing to learn from others' stories opens your mind and heart. It's important to remember that empathy doesn't mean sacrificing your boundaries. You can care deeply without losing yourself in someone else's problems. Healthy empathy balances understanding with self-care. It means supporting others without being overwhelmed. Every interaction is a chance to practice empathy. At work, it can transform how you handle conflicts or give feedback. In friendships, it helps you support others through tough times. At home, empathy builds stronger family bonds and reduces misunderstandings. The benefits stretch into every corner of your life. People often underestimate the power of empathy because it seems invisible or intangible. But it shows up in countless small ways: how you listen, the tone of your voice, your facial expressions, your patience when someone struggles to find words. These details communicate that you care and respect the other person's humanity. There will be moments when empathy is hardest, when someone frustrates or disappoints you. Those are the times your empathy muscles grow strongest. Choosing to understand rather than react in anger takes real strength and maturity. That choice changes not only the relationship, but who you are as a person. Empathy is also a skill you can develop intentionally. Start by paying closer attention to others' emotions in conversations. Notice their body language, tone, and energy. Imagine what they might be feeling beneath the surface. Reflect on times you've felt similar emotions to connect with their experience. Journaling about your interactions can help deepen empathy. Write down what you observed, how you think the other person felt, and how you responded. Over time, you'll build a habit of seeing beyond words to the heart of what's being shared. When empathy guides your responses, you become someone who calms tension instead of fueling it. You become a person who others trust and respect because they know you'll listen without judgment. That reputation is priceless in every area of life. Empathy doesn't mean perfection. You will misunderstand at times, and that's okay. What matters is the effort and willingness to keep trying. Every step toward empathy builds your social intelligence and enriches your relationships. In the end, practicing empathy is about honoring the shared humanity in all of us. It reminds us that beneath differences in background, beliefs, or behavior, everyone desires to be understood and cared for. That simple truth can transform the way you relate to people. By putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you not only improve your ability to read and respond to others, you become a better human being. You gain patience, kindness, and a deeper sense of connection that no amount of information alone can provide. Empathy is the heart of social intelligence mastery. It's what turns interaction into relationship and communication into connection. It's the key that unlocks understanding, compassion, and ultimately, true influence. Number 7, stay calm and aware in emotionally charged moments. The truth is, nearly everyone has faced those moments when emotions run high, when words feel like fire, and the air gets thick with tension. In those times, people often lose control. Voices rise, hearts race, and reason slips away. When emotions take over, communication breaks down, and relationships suffer. It's a reality many struggle with, and it's what separates those who succeed in social intelligence from those who don't. The ability to stay calm and aware during emotionally charged moments is a skill that transforms how you handle conflict, pressure, and difficult conversations. It's not easy, but it's one of the most powerful tools you can develop to master the art of reading and responding to people. Emotional reactions are automatic. When you feel threatened or upset, your body triggers a fight, flight, or freeze response. Your heart beats faster, your muscles tighten, and your mind focuses on defending itself. That's natural, everyone experiences this. But the key difference lies in what happens next. Most people let those reactions control their behavior. They say things they regret, shut down, or lash out. When that happens, communication ends and damage begins. Staying calm means interrupting that automatic process. It means recognizing what you're feeling, understanding why, and choosing how to respond instead of reacting blindly. Awareness is the first step. You must tune into your body and mind during heated moments. Notice the physical signs. Maybe your hands clench, your breathing quickens, or your stomach tightens. Recognize the emotions rising inside you, whether it's anger, fear, frustration, or sadness. Don't push them away or pretend they're not there. Acknowledge them honestly. When you label your emotions, you create a space between feeling and action. That space gives you control. Calmness doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or ignoring the issue. It means managing your emotions so they don't control your behavior. Take a deep breath, slow your breathing, and ground yourself in the present. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor or the texture of a chair beneath you. These simple actions help pull you out of emotional overwhelm and back into clarity. When you stay calm, your brain functions differently. The part responsible for rational thought, the prefrontal cortex, kicks in. You can think clearly, listen carefully, and respond thoughtfully. That's what emotional intelligence is about, being aware of emotions and using that awareness to guide your actions. In tense moments, people respect calmness. It signals strength, control, and maturity. Calmness creates space for others to cool down too, reducing the intensity of conflict. Being aware also means paying attention to others' emotions in the moment. When you remain calm, you can observe their body language, tone, and facial expressions more accurately. You pick up on signals that reveal what they're really feeling underneath the anger or frustration. That insight helps you respond in ways that diffuse tension rather than fuel it. Controlling your emotions in charged moments is not about winning an argument or proving a point. It's about protecting relationships and finding solutions. When emotions run wild, problems get bigger and misunderstandings grow. When you keep your cool, you create an environment where problems can be solved and people can be heard. Many people fear confrontation and avoid difficult conversations altogether. But staying calm and aware gives you the confidence to face tough talks with grace. It changes how others see you. Instead of a threat or opponent, you become a steady presence, someone who can handle pressure and still communicate effectively. This skill also protects your mental and physical health. Chronic stress from unresolved conflicts wears you down over time. Learning to stay calm in the moment reduces stress, helps you sleep better, and improves your overall well-being. That's why it's worth investing time and effort into developing this ability. There are practical ways to build this skill. Start by practicing mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings throughout the day without judgment. When you notice tension rising, pause and breathe deeply. Visualize yourself responding calmly in future difficult situations. Role-playing with trusted friends or mentors can also prepare you for real-life challenges. It's important to remember that staying calm is a habit, not a one-time achievement. You will have moments when emotions take over. When that happens, don't criticize yourself. Acknowledge the slip and commit to doing better next time. Each moment of calm builds your capacity to handle the next challenge more effectively. When someone else is emotional, staying calm is even more critical. If you react with equal intensity, the situation escalates quickly. But when you maintain your composure, you can listen deeply and respond with empathy. Sometimes your calm presence is exactly what the other person needs to feel heard and safe enough to calm down themselves. It's also helpful to prepare mentally before stepping into situations that might trigger strong emotions. Think through possible scenarios and how you will respond without losing control. This preparation builds resilience and reduces surprises that can provoke emotional reactions. In professional settings, staying calm during stressful meetings or negotiations earns respect and influence. Leaders who model calmness inspire confidence and motivate teams. In personal relationships, calmness builds trust and security, even when disagreements arise. You don't have to be perfect at this from the start. Every time you practice staying calm and aware, you strengthen your emotional muscles. You become someone who faces life's challenges with steadiness and clarity. People will notice and respond to that energy. Being calm doesn't mean being passive or avoiding action. It means acting with intention rather than reaction. When emotions threaten to overwhelm you, remember that your power lies in your choice of response. You can choose to be the person who listens first, speaks last, and creates peace in the middle of chaos. Many miss this point. Emotions are signals, not commands. They alert you to what matters, but don't have to dictate your behavior. When you train yourself to interpret those signals calmly, you make smarter decisions and build stronger connections. In the heat of the moment, focusing on your breath, your body, and the other person's perspective grounds you in reality. It reminds you that the situation is temporary and manageable. This shift in mindset changes everything. In relationships, staying calm can turn potential fights into honest conversations. It opens doors for understanding instead of shutting them with anger or frustration. It shows that you value the person more than being right or winning. Every emotionally charged moment is an opportunity to practice and grow. It's a chance to demonstrate your strength and your respect for others. It's a moment to prove that you are in control, not your emotions. When you master this skill, you don't just survive difficult moments, you transform them into opportunities for connection, growth, and trust. You become the person others turn to when things get tough, because they know you can handle it with calm and clarity. The ability to stay calm and aware in emotional storms is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and those around you. It turns challenges into stepping stones and conflict into collaboration. This skill is the foundation of true social intelligence and lasting influence. Number 8. Learn to read group dynamics quickly and accurately. Most people face moments when they walk into a room full of people and feel completely lost. They can't figure out who is leading the conversation, who holds influence, or how the energy is flowing. This experience is more common than you think. It happens because understanding group dynamics isn't easy. Groups are complex. There are unspoken rules, shifting alliances, and silent power plays all happening beneath the surface. Without the skill to quickly and accurately read these dynamics, people often feel isolated, frustrated, or unsure how to contribute. Mastering this skill is essential to becoming socially intelligent because life happens in groups, from meetings to social events to family gatherings. Your ability to interpret what's going on beneath the surface can make the difference between being ignored or becoming a trusted, influential presence. Groups communicate on many levels, not just with words. The way people position themselves, their posture, where they look, and how they interact tells a story. Those who can decode these subtle clues see the true social map of the group. This map reveals who holds authority, who supports whom, who's excluded, and where conflicts might be simmering. When you understand this map, you don't just join the group, you become a part of it in a meaningful way. The first step in reading group dynamics is observing the flow of attention. Notice who speaks first and who listens, who interrupts and who waits quietly, who others look at when they speak or laugh. These small details show who the influencers are and who follows. Sometimes influence isn't about formal titles, it's about who people turn to naturally. Watch how the group responds when certain people talk. Do they lean in or seem distracted? These signals indicate respect, interest, or disagreement. The seating or standing arrangement also reveals a lot. People who cluster together often share alliances or similar views. Someone who stands slightly apart may feel excluded or disconnected. The physical distance between people mirrors emotional and social distance. Being able to notice and interpret these placements gives you an edge in knowing where to position yourself or how to approach others. Groups also have unwritten rules and rituals. There might be a leader who rarely speaks but commands respect, or a joker who lightens the mood and keeps things from getting tense. Identifying these roles helps you navigate the social landscape wisely. If you try to dominate the conversation in a group that values quiet leadership, you may push people away. If you ignore the group's humor, you miss a chance to connect on a deeper level. Energy levels in a group change constantly. At times, people feel excited and engaged. Other times, they're tired or distracted. Picking up on these shifts helps you decide when to speak up or listen. For example, if the group seems tense, bringing a light comment can ease the mood. If people are focused and serious, diving into jokes might seem out of place. Matching the group's energy shows respect and awareness. Another key element is understanding the emotional undercurrents. Groups often carry feelings that aren't openly expressed. There could be tension between members, unspoken disagreements, or excitement about an upcoming event. By paying attention to facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language, you can sense these emotions. This insight allows you to respond appropriately, offering support, changing the topic, or encouraging inclusion. It's also important to recognize who is excluded or marginalized in a group. Sometimes people are left out without anyone saying so. Noticing who doesn't get a chance to speak or who is physically separated gives you a chance to include them. Doing this not only shows your social awareness but builds goodwill and respect from others. Your own behavior influences group dynamics too. How you enter a group, where you stand, and how you engage can either help or hinder connection. Being mindful of this means you don't just observe, but become an active participant who shapes the social atmosphere. Showing genuine interest in different people, respecting the flow of conversation, and contributing thoughtfully make you a valuable group member. Practice is key. The more groups you observe and engage with intentionally, the sharper your skill becomes. Think of it as learning a new language, the language of social interaction. Each group has its own dialect and rhythm, and over time, you learn to understand and speak it fluently. When you step into any group, your first task is to watch and listen more than talk. Scan the room with curiosity, notice how people respond to each other, and sense the emotional temperature. Resist the urge to jump in immediately. This patience shows respect and builds your understanding. Over time, your quick and accurate reading of group dynamics allows you to pick up on opportunities. Maybe someone is looking for a conversation partner, or there's an opening to introduce a new idea. Being aware means you don't miss these chances. You become the person who knows when and how to speak to make the most impact. Reading group dynamics is also about managing your ego. Sometimes you might feel ignored or sidelined. Instead of reacting defensively, observe what's happening without judgment. Ask yourself what you can learn about the group's rhythm and your role within it. This mindset keeps you adaptable and open. This skill carries over to leadership. Leaders who read group dynamics well inspire trust and loyalty. They know how to motivate different personalities and navigate conflicts before they explode. They create environments where everyone feels heard and valued. Developing this ability gives you influence, whether you lead formally or informally. In stressful or high-stakes group situations, the ability to remain calm and read the room becomes critical. It allows you to sense when tensions rise and act to ease them. It also helps you pick up on when the group is ready to make decisions or needs more discussion. This insight leads to better outcomes and stronger relationships. The ability to read group dynamics quickly and accurately improves your social intelligence in profound ways. It saves you from awkward moments, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities. It helps you build trust, create connections, and influence others with integrity. This is not a skill you master overnight. It requires practice, patience, and self-awareness. Start by paying attention to your next social gathering. Observe without judgment. Note patterns and shifts. Reflect afterward on what you saw and learned. Gradually, you will become someone who understands the hidden language of groups and responds with confidence and clarity. Your social intelligence grows every time you invest in understanding groups better. This ability opens doors socially and professionally. It puts you in the flow rather than on the sidelines. You become a person others want to be around, someone who adds value, not just through words, but through deep understanding. In every interaction, group dynamics are at play, shaping outcomes whether you notice or not. When you learn to read these forces quickly and accurately, you take control of your social experience. You move from confusion to clarity, from isolation to connection. That's what social intelligence mastery is all about. Number 9. Adapt your words based on who you're with. Most people struggle in conversations because they talk without thinking about who's listening. It's a common problem. Many times, people speak the same way to a close friend, a coworker, or a stranger at a networking event. This lack of adjustment creates disconnect. Words that work with one person might fall flat or even offend another. Social intelligence isn't about saying the right thing every time. It's about saying the right thing to the right person in the right way. Adapting your words based on who you're with is a skill that sets successful communicators apart. It builds respect, trust, and understanding. Without it, your message often gets lost, misunderstood, or ignored. This ability starts with awareness. Before you speak, be mindful of the person or group you are addressing. What do they care about? What kind of language do they respond to? Are they formal or casual? Do they prefer facts or stories? The more you understand who they are, the better you can tailor your words to resonate with them. Imagine talking to your elderly neighbor versus a young colleague. Your tone, vocabulary, and subject matter need to change. What feels natural and appropriate in one setting can seem strange or off-putting in another. Adaptation doesn't mean being fake or dishonest. It means communicating with sensitivity and respect for the other person's perspective. It means choosing words that create connection, not division. This often involves simple adjustments, using more formal language in professional settings, avoiding jargon with those unfamiliar with a topic, or choosing positive, encouraging words when someone feels down. Words carry power, and adapting them wisely shows you value the person you're speaking to. Listening is crucial here. To know how to adapt, you must listen carefully to how the other person speaks, what they value, and their emotional state. This gives clues about their preferences and needs. For instance, if someone uses simple, direct language, mirroring that style helps them feel comfortable and understood. If someone speaks with enthusiasm and energy, matching that energy in your words builds rapport. Tone matters as much as the words themselves. A kind word said sharply feels different than the same word said gently. Your attitude shines through your choice of words and how you say them. When you adjust your tone to fit the listener, you make it easier for them to hear and accept your message. If you want to motivate a teammate, your words must be both firm and encouraging, not harsh or vague. If you're sharing a difficult truth with a friend, softening your language can prevent unnecessary hurt. The context also influences how you adapt. A conversation at a business meeting requires a different approach than a casual chat at a family dinner. Professional environments often demand clarity, brevity, and respect for hierarchy. Social settings allow more warmth, humor, and personal sharing. Adapting your words to fit these contexts demonstrates social awareness and emotional intelligence. It also helps avoid misunderstandings or embarrassment. Cultural differences play a huge role in how words are received. What's acceptable in one culture might be offensive in another. Awareness of cultural norms and adapting your language accordingly is vital in today's diverse world. Simple things like greetings, humor, and expressions of respect vary widely. Being sensitive to these differences shows respect and openness, which in turn fosters trust. Adapting your words also means knowing when not to say something. Silence or a simple nod can be more powerful than words in certain situations. Choosing when to speak and when to hold back reflects maturity and self-control. It prevents unnecessary conflict and shows you respect the feelings and space of others. Confidence plays a role in adaptation too. When you adjust your words to fit the listener, you gain control over the conversation. You become more persuasive because you meet people where they are. This confidence grows with practice and feedback. Start small by observing reactions to your words and making adjustments. Notice when people lean in or pull away. Their responses guide you to refine your approach. Adapting your words can also mean adjusting the content. Some topics may be relevant and welcomed in one group, but taboo or sensitive in another. Knowing what to talk about and what to avoid protects relationships and keeps conversations productive. It also helps build your reputation as someone thoughtful and considerate. Humor is a good example of adaptation in action. What's funny to one person may not be to another. Tailoring your humor to the audience, whether light and playful or dry and intellectual, makes your communication more effective and enjoyable. Misjudging humor can backfire, causing awkwardness or offense. In times of disagreement, adapting your words becomes even more important. Using respectful language and avoiding blame keeps the conversation constructive. You can express your point without attacking the other person. This approach opens the door for dialogue and problem-solving rather than conflict. Adapting your words is a form of respect. It tells others you care enough to consider their feelings, background, and perspective. This respect invites openness and honesty in return. It creates a safe space for real connection. Developing this skill takes intentional effort. Begin by reflecting on your past conversations. Which ones felt smooth and which felt difficult? What changed between those situations? Pay attention to your language in different settings and with different people. Notice what works and what doesn't. Role models help too. Watch how skilled communicators adjust their words in interviews, speeches, or everyday talk. Notice how they tailor their message for their audience. Try to incorporate those habits into your own style. Feedback is a powerful tool. Ask trusted friends or colleagues how your words come across. Are you too formal, too casual, or just right? Use their insights to improve. Growth happens when you're open to learning. The reward for adapting your words is deeper connection, greater influence, and smoother relationships. People feel heard and understood, which strengthens trust. When you speak to someone in a way they can receive, your message lands with impact. At its core, adapting your words is about kindness and awareness. It's about meeting others with openness rather than pushing your own agenda. It's about being flexible without losing your authenticity. This skill empowers you to navigate any social situation with ease and confidence. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to build bridges. You move from talking at people to communicating with them. You become someone others want to listen to and engage with. Master this skill, and you master the art of connection. It transforms your social life and your impact on the world around you. Words become tools of influence, understanding, and unity. This is the essence of social intelligence mastery, speaking not just to be heard, but to truly connect. Number 10. Reflect on interactions to improve social awareness. Many people live their daily conversations without looking back to understand what happened. They move from one interaction to the next without pausing to consider how they came across or what they might learn. This is a big missed opportunity. Reflection is the bridge between experience and growth. Without it, social awareness remains shallow. To become truly skilled at reading and responding to people, you must make a habit of reflecting on your interactions. This means stepping back with honesty and curiosity to examine what went well, what didn't, and why. It's natural to rush through social encounters, especially when life is busy. But this rush keeps us stuck in repeating the same mistakes or missing chances to connect more deeply. When you take time to think about your conversations, you develop insight into your own behavior and the reactions of others. You start to notice patterns, what triggers positive responses, and what causes friction. This awareness is the foundation of social intelligence. Reflection requires quiet and focus. After a conversation, find a moment to pause and ask yourself meaningful questions. How did the other person react? Were they engaged, distant, defensive? What words or actions seemed to influence their mood? How did you feel during the interaction? Did you express yourself clearly, or did you hold back? What might you have done differently? Answering these questions helps you understand not only the other person's perspective, but also your own. This process isn't about criticizing yourself. It's about learning. You might discover you interrupted too often or didn't listen fully. Maybe your tone came off harsher than intended or your message wasn't clear. Recognizing these details equips you to adjust your approach next time. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Keeping a journal can be powerful. Writing down your observations makes them concrete. It allows you to track progress over time and see growth that might otherwise go unnoticed. You don't need to write a lot. Even a few sentences about each interaction can spark valuable insight. Over weeks and months, this practice sharpens your social radar and builds confidence. Sometimes reflection uncovers blind spots. You might realize you misread someone's body language or misunderstood their words. This humility is crucial. Accepting that you don't always get it right opens the door to deeper learning. It encourages you to ask questions and seek feedback instead of assuming you know it all. Reflection also helps you manage emotions. After difficult conversations, strong feelings can cloud your judgment. Taking time to process your emotions prevents you from reacting impulsively or carrying unnecessary resentment. It allows you to approach future interactions with a clear mind and a calm heart. Empathy grows through reflection. When you put yourself in someone else's shoes and think about their experience during your conversation, you strengthen your ability to connect on a human level. This understanding makes your responses more genuine and supportive. Social awareness is about more than individual conversations. It includes understanding broader social cues and context. Reflecting on group interactions reveals dynamics you might have missed in the moment. Who leads the discussion? Who stays quiet? How do people influence each other? Noticing these details improves your ability to navigate groups effectively. In professional settings, reflection can improve teamwork and leadership. After meetings, consider what helped the group move forward and what created obstacles. Did your words contribute to progress or confusion? Did you notice when others were disengaged? These insights help you become a better communicator and collaborator. Reflection helps you identify strengths as well. Celebrating moments when you connected well or resolved tension builds confidence. It reminds you that social skills are learnable and that progress is possible. Recognizing your wins fuels motivation to keep improving. The habit of reflecting on social interactions separates those who react from those who respond. Reacting is automatic and often unhelpful. Responding requires thought and understanding. Reflection cultivates this thoughtful approach. In addition to personal reflection, seek input from others. Trusted friends or mentors can provide perspectives you may overlook. They can point out habits or blind spots you didn't notice. Combining self-reflection with external feedback accelerates growth. Technology can assist in reflection. Recording conversations or meetings with permission allows you to review tone, word choice, and body language. Seeing yourself from an outside view is a powerful learning tool. Reflection is a lifelong practice. No one masters social awareness overnight. Each interaction offers a new chance to learn and adapt. Staying committed to reflection keeps your social skills sharp and your relationships healthy. At its core, reflecting on interactions means valuing communication as a skill worth developing. It means understanding that every conversation impacts your life and the lives of others. This awareness drives you to engage more meaningfully and act with intention. Developing this habit transforms social encounters from routine exchanges into opportunities for connection and growth. You become someone who listens deeply, understands clearly, and responds wisely. This level of social intelligence enriches your personal and professional life. Taking time to reflect shows respect for yourself and others. It demonstrates humility, curiosity, and a willingness to improve. These qualities attract people and build lasting trust. Reflection is the secret to moving beyond surface-level communication. It uncovers the unspoken messages, hidden feelings, and subtle dynamics that shape every interaction. Understanding these layers empowers you to respond with clarity and kindness. In the end, reflecting on your social interactions is not just about better conversations. It's about becoming a better person. It teaches patience, empathy, and awareness. These are the building blocks of meaningful relationships. When you commit to this practice, you step into your full potential as a communicator and a human being. You create space for growth, connection, and true mastery of the art of reading and responding to people.